Alright. Welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng Deep Dive. Kasama natin ngayon si Attorney Dino De Leon. Thank you, Attorney Dino De Leon, for not joining me in a moving car or sa gitna ng traffic. Thank you sa effort mo,
Buntikan
bro.
na, buntikan na. Kanina ready ako But sabi ko kahit na hating gabi na for Richard Heydarian and his
I know.
followers.
I
Oo.
know. Ayan, gising pa yung mga taga-QC first to watch, mga taga-QC na nag-share talaga mga QC my time pag Saturday evening.
Hindi, tsaka bukas hindi tayo matutuloy dahil may
Yun
bagyo
nga,
sa ating with due
exactly.
respect. Kaya sabi ko, gusto pa rin kita makausap kahit na hindi tayo tuloy bukas.
Correct. Of course, it's of course, it's because of the special coverage ng situation in Cebu, and of course, nakikiramay tayo sa ating mga kababayan dyan. Ang dami nangyari. Si Slater Young, wala na, offline na siya. Grabe naming scrutiny sa kanya, no? Grabe.
Well, dapat lang kasi kung makikita mo naman yung nangyari sa Cebu, 'di ba? And
Grabe, no?
ang grabe, ang dami palang flood control projects sa
Grabe.
Cebu, lalong-lalo na under the Duterte administration. Pero what's happening in Cebu, no? Kailangan pag-isipan mga buti ng mga Cebuano kung anong dapat gawin diyan. But definitely, we are one with them in making sure na dapat panagutin yung kailangan managot. Kung local government unit ba yan, kung national
Right,
government ba yan, kung sino man yung mga yan, hindi deserve ng mga Cebuano after all their
right.
ambag sa lipunan natin na mag-suffer ng ganyan, no? Hindi hindi talaga deserve. At kahit na hindi Cebuano, 'di ba? Bawat isang Pilipino hindi deserve ang ganyang
Yeah,
klaseng pamamalakad, no? Paulit-ulit na lang yung victimization, baka naman, 'di ba? Baka naman baguhin na natin kung paano tong mga nangyayari. The Philippines needs infrastructure badly at hindi pwedeng kinukuha at kinukulimbat nitong mga walang hiyang ito.
absolutely. I mean, mahabang usapan yan. But let's start with the man of the hour. Between the delay we made, like dapat kanina 8 p.m. Manila time, tapos ngayon 11. Ayan na, yung mga henyo natin sa Malacanang, Bersamin strikes again. Can we explain? So, why would Remulla even openly blurt it out sa pagkaalam niya? Hindi nga siya yan. It's not even like yung disclaimer ni Ronald. Wala akong sinasabi. Hindi, sabi niya, sa pagkaalam ko talaga from a person of authority, meron na talaga itong ICC warrant of arrest which we have been waiting forever. But I was still waiting what will the Malacanang say. And here you are, Bersamin strikes again. You want to break down what is your reading of this politically but also legally?
Well, politically muna tayo. I think Malacanang is being careful considering that underheat, no? Underheat kahit yung Malacanang. After ng lahat na nangyari sa flood control, ang dami no nangyari no nakaraang bagyo. Nagsorry si President Bongbong Marcos. While his apology is appreciated, it does not cancel out the fact that it is still the obligation of this government to make sure that our brethren are safe, our countrymen are safe, no? Pero ang pinagkaiba nitong administrasyon na to, it is owning up to its mistakes, di ba? Hindi katulad siguro nung iba, nakarang administrasyon na nung COVID, nung pandemic, na grabe yung pagbibiktima sa atin, grabe yung mga namatay, grabe yung longest lockdown tayo, wala kang narinig na apology, no? Ngayon may apology, pero ito yung sinasabi ko na sorry doesn't cut it, di ba? We want results and we need to make sure na ligtas ang ating taong bayan. Having said that, I think politically, Malacanang is trying to be careful and it wants the imprimatur of the judiciary this time around, no? So sa akin, playing it safe, pero hindi ba sa mga ganitong bagay, ang kailangan katapangan. And this administration has already shown bravery when it made sure that Rodrigo Duterte will be arrested, will be turned over to the ICC, di ba? And making sure na justice will finally prevail, no? Pero sige, fine. Si Bato de la Rosa is a sitting senator. Pero ano ba sabi ni Bato de la Rosa, di ba? Go ahead. Make my day. Sabi niya, di ba? Why, politically speaking, why is it that we're stopping, why is it that this government will be stopping the ICC from making Bato de la Rosa's day? Ako, if we want to, di ba? We want to help Bato de la Rosa make his day, di ba? So para siguradong masaya siya, sabi niya, ang tapang-tapang niya nung nag-speech siya, sabi niya isama raw samahan pa raw ni Trillanes, ang dami raw kuda-kuda ni Trillanes. Galing niya kay Bato de la Rosa. So let's make his day and let's make sure that the arrest will happen forthwith. Total, hindi na naman si Jesus Cudero ang Senate President. Hopefully, the Senate will also not protect Bato de la Rosa, even if one of their own ito, kitang-kita naman na hindi ito groundless. Ang laki ng difference, di ba? Sila Ila de Lima nga, groundless. Pinayagan dati ng Senado na mangyari yon, di ba? Kitang-kita naman na political persecution. But in the case of Bato de la Rosa, it is not political persecution because it is not it is not just Filipinos who are saying na kailangan niya managot. It is the international community. It is the cold, impartial judges of the International Criminal Court, the most learned and trained international jurors in the world have validated that there is ground for the issuance of a warrant of arrest. No? So ayoko lang rin na sinasabi natin in relation to the West Philippine Sea na we have to uphold international law, we have to respect international law, tapos sarili nating institution, sarili nating presidential palace will stop that from happening, will actually not submit to the treaty that we signed, especially when we were still state parties. No? Malinaw na malinaw naman, kahit hindi na tayo state party ngayon, even the Supreme Court in Pangilinan versus Cayetano has acknowledged in a unanimous decision na meron pa ring jurisdiction ng ICC
Residual.
pagdating sa Pilipinas for crimes against humanity na nangyari nung panahon na tayo ay state party pa rin. So malinaw na malinaw rin yan. No? So para sa akin, hindi dapat pinapasa sa Supreme Court yung desisyon or sa ating judicial processes dahil merong obligation ang ating gobyerno. And let's remember that the president is the chief architect of foreign policy and duty-bound ang Pilipinas na i-implement ang international law in this jurisdiction. No?
I-drill natin na yan, no? I-deep dive natin ng konti. So, una-una, sa tingin mo, there was nothing going on with, why would Remulla blurt it out? Kasi people are trying to read into that. Parang hindi siya coordinated, masyadong impromptu. Why would he do that? Or was he just, just throwing out the ball or putting the pressure on Malacanang to do about something to do about it? But also on the issue of extradition, I mean, this is about ICC. Sabi mo nga, Supreme Court or the ruling on residual jurisdiction. So why are you own goaling here by is this passing of the buck? Right? Medyo ingat ako commenting on the Supreme Court, but is this the passing of the buck? Right? Nakikita mo nag-hedge ako, bro.
Uh, I'm your counsel, so good job.
I could
Tanda
see in
mo,
your eyes,
ako
like,
yung counsel mo dyan sa Supreme Court
Richard,
case
ingat
mo.
ka.
So, good
Like,
job.
yeah, you could.
Well, let your counsel speak. De, joke lang. Well, in this particular instance, tandaan natin dalawang bagay. No? Boying Remulla has changed so much, especially after the near-death experience no that he had no so nakita ko ang laki ng pagbabago ni Boying Remulla. Nakita niya siguro he almost, I think, di ba, face or look death in the eye. And pagkatapos niya mag quadruple bypass ba yun? Triple heart bypass, 'di ba? Pagkatapos noon nagkaroon pa siya ng leukemia, 'di ba? Ang tagal niya ng therapy, namayat ang husto yan. Hindi nga natin ang tagal niya hindi nagpapakita sa Secretary of Justice, and afterwards, 'di ba? He went back guns blazing as an agent of the law and making sure that the justice system will work in this country and will make sure that accountability will happen. No? So, I'd like to think that Boying Remulla blurted it out and he has good intentions. And, si Boying naman, calculated yun eh. Tandaan natin, ang tagal niyang politician, ang tagal niyang, ang matalino yan, no? Ang galing ng mga pinagagawa niya kahit sa Cavite, no? Kahit na anong mangyari. Ang galing ng meron niyang politically savvy yan.
Oh,
Yun
yes.
lang sasabihin ko, no? So, and I think he is right now at the very least when it comes to accountability, when it comes to justice system, ang laki ng pagbabago ni Boying Remulla. So, I'd like to think that he meant well. He means well and he meant well. Number one. But number two, gusto ko lang ring sabihin na dahil nga politically savvy yan, tingin at dati ang Secretary of Justice ni Bongbong Marcos, I think this is a well-calculated move na hindi nanggaling sa executive, nanggaling sa ombudsman na supposedly, at least optically, constitutionally independent, di ba? Pero tingin ba natin hindi kinoordinate ni Boying Remulla yan? I think kinoordinate ni Boying Remulla yan. And I think Malacanang has also probably designed this in such a way na, okay, this time around, we will leave it to the judiciary kasi may bagong rules. No? So I think there is still political will insofar as this government is concerned to make sure that Bato de la Rosa and the architects of the bloody, murderous drug war will see the light of justice. But this time around, they're a little bit careful considering the changed political environment, di ba? Yun yung aking tingin, no? Politically speaking. Having said that, I think comfortable rin, tanda natin si Chief Justice Bersamin, Chief Justice nga eh, ang tagal niyan, di ba? I think they are also legally confident, and I am legally
Sa
confident
Supreme Court.
that sa Supreme Court, in terms of the rules, kung ang sinasabi nila, the rules must be tested kasi bagong-bago, di ba? Ang sabi kasi ng mga DDS, nakikita ko na ang dami, this is the time kasi na ang dami na namang bagong abogadilyo at kahit yung mga abogado nila, di ba? Nagsasabi na, wow, Digong is a hero right now. He sacrificed himself just so that more Filipinos are going to be protected by this new issuance of the Supreme Court. And
Galing
the
ni
Supreme
Christine, ah.
Court foresaw the need of releasing this no nung May. Una, kitang-kita naman dun sa rules na ang nakalagay doon extradition. Ang concept kasi ng extradition, it's between two countries, no? Two countries and there is a requesting state. Okay? There is a requesting state and there has to be an extradition treaty and kaya kailangan lang itingnan ng judicial branch of our government dahil dun sa double complementarity rule. I-dissect lang natin konti yan para sa ating mga nakikinig na hindi naman lawyers, di ba? Kasi di ba, it sounds legalese. Pero ibig sabihin lang ng double criminality, di ba? Double complementarity rule is dapat yung krimen na hinaharap nila, krimen din dito sa Pilipinas. Doon sa bansa na yon. In other words, kunyari, may extradition treaty tayo, let's say for example kunyari lang, Singapore. Okay? Sinabi nila the crime of estafa ay yung nakumit ng ating citizen and merong warrant of arrest yung judicial authority nila, iti-check dapat yan sa Pilipinas kung krimen din ng estafa sa Pilipinas. Kung hindi yan krimen sa Pilipinas, hindi natin pwedeng i-extradite yung ating brethren, yung ating countrymen doon sa bansang yon, no? Yun lang yung reason
Clearly,
ng
this
extradition.
applies to some culturally specific kind of laws, di ba? Sabihin natin, certain kind of relationship baka bawal sa bansang A because of religious reason, pero yung bansang B,
Correct.
different yung religious culture nila. So, walang alignment.
Oh, kunyari,
Yeah.
women cannot wear skimpy clothes. Tapos krimen sa kanila yon and ang punishment is stoning to death. 'Di ba? Malamang hindi yan violation sa Pilipinas
Yeah.
at hindi rin appropriate yung penalty, so hindi natin i-extradite. Pero kung yung krimen ay krimen rin dito, malinaw na i-extradite. So two reasons. Number one is legally ha. Makikita natin na hindi applicable ang extradition rule kasi hindi naman bansa ito. Rather, it's a supranational organization which we signed. Di ba? So, kitang-kita yon na hindi naman kabansa ang ICC, International Court yan. That's first. Second, assuming na double complementarity actually applies, meron tayong sariling law criminalizing, 'di ba? Yung tinatawag nating crimes against humanity, 'di ba? So even in terms of double complementarity, kung i-check natin 'yan, no? Makikita natin na krimen din 'yan dito sa Pilipinas. So pwede nating i-extradite assuming that the extradition treaty applies. Pero sa akin, extradition rule on extradition applies. Pero para sa akin, hindi talaga applicable kasi hindi naman ito bansa na ito, 'di ba? Number three, even our own Supreme Court sinabi na applicable pa rin yan. Yung, di ba? Yung crime na yan. So both our own Supreme Court, our own domestic law, but at the same time, in terms of applicability, hindi talaga siya applicable kasi hindi naman basa yung International Criminal Court. What does govern? What governs actually is the Rome Statute, no? Nakalagay sa Rome Statute na even after the withdrawal of a country, it does not exonerate the country from the obligations set out in the treaty during that time when it was still a state party. At in a unanimous decision, the pretrial chamber stated na may jurisdiction pa rin ng International Criminal Court kasi ang tinatry natin at this point in time ay yung mga krimen na na-commit ni Rodrigo Duterte nung siya ay mayor pa ng Davao City and at the same time nung siya ang presidente prior to the effectivity of the withdrawal of the Philippines from the ICC. So napakalinaw sa aking legal mind, no, na hindi applicable to at kahit na applicable ito, pasado. Pasadong pasado. So I think Malacanang, Chief Justice Bersamin, Executive Secretary Bersamin, is quite confident na kahit na iligay natin ito sa judiciary, papasa. So they just want an additional imprimatur para hindi lang sa executive ang sisi. Bagkus sinabi ng ating sariling court, no. So ako, hopefully our justice system, our court system will actually affirm the warrant of arrest. At any rate, ito lang huli kong argument ha. Even our own Supreme Court cannot cannot divest our country with the obligations that we have or that we actually voluntarily submitted to noong time na yon, no? So hindi pwedeng sabihin ng Supreme Court na kahit na Supreme Court natin yan na ay hindi niyo na obligasyon yan kasi nagsabit na tayo eh. Pinirmahan natin yan eh. We were in a state party at malinaw doon sa rule na yon. At lastly, kung ang sarili nating Supreme Court hindi paparesto si Bato de la Rosa, it actually affirms the jurisdiction of the ICC because it only goes to show that our own justice system does not even want the arrest of somebody who is one of the principal authors of the violent war on drug, the chief implementer actually. Bato de la Rosa, he was the one who signed the PNP memorandum on Tokhang. He was the one who actually implemented all the raids in the poorest areas of the Philippines. He was the one who was very proud of it as his legacy. At sinabi niya nga, go ahead, make my day. Diba? So napakalinaw sa akin na pagka sakasakaling even our own judiciary blocks this, it only goes to show that the Philippines is unwilling and unable to actually try the perpetrators and the main architects of the violent war on drugs. And thus, we actually absolutely need the ICC.
I mean, anong timeline ang tinitignan natin in terms of getting hopefully the imprimatur, or can you expect even a appeal to the Supreme Court if ever? Again, I don't want
Pagdat
to go. But what are you
Pagdating
looking
kasi
at
niyan
in
eh.
terms of timeline here?
Pagdating kasi niyan, if the government wants to play it safe, Bato de la Rosa kasi will probably file an injunction. If I were Bato de la Rosa, di ba, I will probably file it in the RTC para to buy time. No? Ito kasi ang game plan na pag ikaw si Bato de la Rosa, buy time in the RTC para meron kang appellate, Court of Appeals, and then Supreme Court. That's number one. Most probably, the Office of the Solicitor General will be asked to comment or the Department of Justice will be asked to comment, no? So may palitan pa yan. Baka magka-oral arguments pa pagdating sa Supreme Court, no? So medyo matagal pa kasi it will take some time. Pasko pa. Alam naman natin na pag Pasko, medyo tumitigil ang oras. In the meantime, Bato de la Rosa will try to seek refuge sa Senado. And even after judicial imprimatur and even when the executive is coming in, baka sabihin niya, hindi niyo ako pwedeng hulihin habang may session ng Senate. Pero tandaan natin na ang ang immunity ng senator is only for certain crimes at hindi yan crimes against humanity up to a certain 6 years, 7 years na penalty lang ang pwede ng immunity ng isang senador, no, hindi crimes against humanity. No, walang immunity from suit pagkadating sa ganyan, and only when Congress is in session. So ibig sabihin, when Congress is no longer in session, hindi rin siya pwede magtago sa Senado, no. So limited yan. So para sa akin, it's just gonna be a matter of time na Bato de la Rosa will be arrested. Baka mas mabilis kung mas mabilis yung korte natin, mas mabilis yung kasi ito yung isa sa pinaka-test case itong bagong rules, no, extradition. Everyone will be watching, not only the Filipino people but the international community. Kung ready ba ang Pilipinas i-honor yung kanyang mga treaty obligations at yung kanyang obligations under international law, no? And then afterwards, no, tandaan natin ha, at as you know, Richard, mas maraming Pilipino sa lahat ng surveys from Okta to WR to SWS, maraming nagsasabi na kailangan harapin ng mga chief implementers of the war on drugs itong kaso na ito. So, I know for a fact that the Filipino people will be watching and will be actually pressuring the right kind of pressure sa gobyerno. At kung hihindi ang Supreme Court o kahit ang gobyerno, ang executive, it will not be taken lightly by the Filipino people. Ang dami na masyadong skandalo. Ang dami na masyadong skandalo ng gobyerno, di ba? The last thing that we want is for this government and for the judiciary, the trust in the judiciary, to wane just because they are taking a bullet for Bato de la Rosa. Di ba? Yung Filipino people want to see them face justice, want for them to go to the ICC, at dapat i-honor naman nila yung will ng Filipino people. So malinaw sa akin na even politically speaking, in terms of the critical mass supporting the arrest of Bato de la Rosa, it is very evident, at least based on all empirical pieces of evidence that we have, no? WR survey, Okta, SWS, lahat yan sinabi more than 5 or 6, meron pa nga 8 out of 10, di ba? Sinasabi na gusto nila managot yung mga chief implementers of the murderous, violent war on drugs. Let's make Bato de la Rosa's day.
Absolutely. For sure, walang kinalaman, all of this, wala naman silang kinalaman. But in theory, Bato would also be happy if magkaroon ng people power this month at mapatalsik yung gobyerno. Like, I'm sure walang kinalaman lahat ng mga bagay na yan, right? But that could also change the landscape. I mean, but on a serious note, dapat ba mag-worry tayo about itong mga plano ng mga malalaking religious groups to come together and show force, and I don't know kung people power ang hinahanap nila. At least yun ang gusto ni Humbaboy from, I don't know kung saan siya, Netherlands. Anong basa mo dito? Because there's also that X factor na baka naman mapalitan ng gobyerno or something like that.
Alam ko namang sarcastic ka na wala namang kinalaman itong mga ito. Di kaya gusto nila, di ba? Wala. Di ba? Nagpapatawag bigla ng accountability, nagpapatawag bigla ng justice, nagpapatawag bigla, anti-corruption talaga, bigla, si Harry Roque. Talaga. Harry Roque, the main defender of the very corrupt regime of Rodrigo Duterte na mahigit dumoble, 2.5% ang utang ng Pilipinas. Pagkatapos ng all family scandal, na pinagsisisigawan niya yung mga doktor na nagsasalita na bakit binababoy yung healthcare system natin, di ba? Lahat ng mga corruption from Pastilla scam to yung Dolomite Beach, di ba? Lahat ng mga pati yung mga kontrata na nabag nung panahon nung COVID-19, gabi yung mga kontrata raw, di ba? Supposedly na award kala Solicitor General Calida ng mga panahon na yon, at least based on a lot of studies by journalists na scandalous, di ba? Yung Freegate scandal ni Bongo, hindi naman nagsalita itong mga ito, di ba? Biglang ngayon anti-corruption sila, di ba? It is because they want Sara Duterte to replace Bongbong Marcos, no? Para sa akin, biglang talaga lang itong Iglesia ni Cristo, yung mga kapatid natin diyan sa Iglesia ni Cristo, biglang anti-corruption. Bakit nasaan yung pagsasalita nila nung napakaraming corruption, at bakit nila in-endorse yung pinakamararaming scandals ng corruption nung lahat ng mga eleksyon, di ba? Hindi ako naniniwala, pasensya na kayo,
Wait,
na
nag-endorse
anti-corruption
naman sila
talaga.
ng Bam Aquino eh.
Talaga, nag-iisa, di ba? Para lang siguro magkaroon ng semblance ng kalinisan yung kanilang listahan, di ba? Pero ultimately, sa akin, itong rally na ito, we should take it with the grain of salt pagdating sa kanila, no? Sige, welcome kayo sa rally, pero talaga, ang panawagan nyo lang, yung corruption sa under the Marcos administration, saan yung corruption na panawagan ninyo nung panahon ni Rodrigo Duterte, na nagsimula ang mga diskayas nung panahon ni Rodrigo Duterte? Pinakamaraming flood control projects na implement panahon ni Rodrigo Duterte. So if you wanna be consistent in your call, empirically speaking, siguro naman manawagan kayo ng pag-iimbestiga sa Duterte administration. Hindi namin kayo pipigilan. Pero kung selective kayo, na Marcos administration lamang, panagutin ng Marcos administration sa lahat ng pagkukulang at korupsyon. Pero panagutin din ang Duterte administration sa lahat ng mga korupsyon. Duterte o nasa Pilipinas?
Nakatay, may nagalit sa atin. Yeah, you were saying, yung mga galit sa corruption, mga for good governance, yung kanila adikain, walang bahid na
Governance, di
duda.
ba? Maka-Diyos, maka-hustisya, para daw sa bayan. Pero nasaan ba talaga yung loyalty nila? Is it with Rodrigo Duterte? Is it with the Davao Mafia? Is it with the murderous regime? Is it with these corrupt personalities? Or is it with the Philippines? No, we should take it with a grain of salt. No, welcome sila sa lahat ng mga anti-corruption rallies, pero dapat consistent sila sa kanilang panawagan.
Absolutely. So, transition naman tayo sa ICI. So, what is your read of situation? Kasi last week dun sa With Due Respect natin, pinag-usapan natin yung worries natin about, alam mo na, pag binabasketball, dribble-dribble na naman yung ating due process system. What is your read of the pace so far? And etong hopes na before the end of the year, baka may Christmas gift sa taong bayan, at least may isa or dalawang malaking pangalan will face something substantial. And that again, walang kinalaman yan at all. I was just really wondering, what do you think about Jesus Cordero being the poorest senator? You want to start with that? Because tumaas talagang kilay ng tao. Like, poorest senator.
Bago
Mas
kay
poor siya
Cheese,
kay
ah.
Riza. Yan ang
Bago kay Cheese, ah. Bago kay Cheese, gusto ko lang sabihin na ayokong tawagin Christmas gift yung conviction ng mga ito. Kasi para bang kung Christmas gift, para bang regalo pa sa atin, para bang utang na loob pa ng Filipino people, no? Dapat lang managot tong mga to, hindi to i-gift. Ito ang dapat, we deserve it as a country. It's not a gift. For me, it is something that we really deserve if we want to have dignity as Filipino people. At saka itong ICI, now I understand, okay naman na meron na silang preliminary list, di ba? Pero ito namang si ICI Chair Andy Reyes, wag na yung mga antics-antics na what we need is love. Mga ganyan-ganyan. Do your job. Tama na yung theatrics, no? Gawin mo yung trabaho mo, pakita mo sa amin ang resulta, hindi namin kailangan yung mga what we need is love. Tapos ang pangit pa ng pagkakagupit ng mga papel-papel na yun, ha? Medyo kailangan ko lang sabihin yun, pasensya ka na, justice. Pero hindi ko na-appreciate yung mga antics ng ganyan, ng mga oras na to ang kailangan namin ay hustisya, ang kailangan namin ay pananagutan, ang kailangan namin ay resulta, at bakit si Chis Escudero? Si Chis ba nasa listahan? Parang wala pa ako
Wala
nakikita.
pa. Kaya nga sabi ko walang
Oo.
kinalaman yan. I just like, I cannot think of Joel and Jinggoy and all of these incredible senators being in the list. And then suddenly another list came into my mind. Totally unrelated. And she's yung pinaka-poor sa SAL. And I'm just
Kaya nga
sorry, like,
tapos
ano,
kung
associative.
wala si Cheese, wala si Bongo na kasama ng CLTG Builders, 'di ba? Talaga lang naman, 'di ba? Baka kung gusto niyong unahin yung mga totoo, wag tayong ayoko ng scapegoat ha this time around. Ayoko ng show. Ayoko na may mapakita lang kayo sa taong bayan. Ang gusto namin yung totoong mananagot. Itong si Cheese Escudero, tandaan natin ha, he was Senate President and then unceremoniously, ngayon lang ako nakakita na auupo mismo yung Senate President dito sa bicameral committee para magkaroon ng napakaraming insertions. At ang pinakamaraming insertions daw ay yung Senado through the Senate President, tapos wala siya sa listahan. Di ba? Tigil-tigilan nga ako na siya yung pinakamahirap, 'di ba? Supposedly. Meron siyang mga mamahalin na watch na document, 'di ba? Namigay siya ng singsing na na $1 million, tapos sasabihin mo sa akin 18 million ka. So sasabihin mo sa akin
Baka
peke, 'di ba?
naubos. Baka naubos sa
Hindi, pero imagine mo, peke, yung ano niya, yung ilabas niya lahat, kung naubos, ilabas niya lahat yung salin niya. Noong, hindi lang yung this time around. Ilabas niya. Saan niya kinuha yung pambili niya nung, hindi ko pa nga ma-pronounce, Parivering ba yung tawag doon? $1 million, di ba? Peke, bibigay mo kay Heart Evangelista, hindi ako naniniwala. Tapos, yung mga watch mo, ito lang ha, yung mga watch niya, di ba? Yung mga watch niya, dalawang bagay lang yan. Totoo o peke? Kung totoo, bakit wala yun sa SALE? Kung peke, bakit as Senate President, nagsiswear ka ng peke in violation of the Intellectual Property Code and our laws, no? Mahiya ka
Correct.
naman. Ikaw mismo ang violator.
Pero nga, paano kung naubos nga? Kailangan ba talaga conjugal? Ilabas yung conjugal kung ano, pag sa mga ganitong bagay, situation.
Da- Dapat ilabas yan, yung conjugal, kung meron silang, kung hindi sila magkaroon ng prenup. Kahit na may prenup, i-declare mo yung prenup, di ba? At saka hindi ako naniniwala kasi, hindi talaga, wag nyo na, ito namang si Cheese, wag mo namang gawing bobo yung taong bayan, di ba? Wag mo namang gawing tanga yung taong bayan na 18 million pesos talaga yung net worth
Pero
mo, di ba?
poorest talaga. Mas poor ba kay Risa?
Pures.
Yun yung,
Hindi ka
yun
na
ang hindi ko
nahiya
kasi
after flaunting your lavish lifestyle hanggang doon sa pagpapagawa mo ng kilay, naniniwala ba tayo ng 18 million ang
baka
iyong
naubos sa kilay. Baka yun ang
naubos
talaga
sa
sa
lavish
kilay.
lifestyle mo? Hindi ako naniniwala. So masyado mo nang ginagawa namang nakakagalit na eh. Ginagawa mo namang tanga, bobo, yung taong bayan, di ba? Tapos ikaw pa yung may ganang magalit, no? Doon sa mga critics mo. If you're onion skin, no? Wag kang umalis ka na sa politika. Cheese, no? Umalis ka na sa politika kung manipis masyado yung balat mo na pati ba naman si Jess Falsis idedemanda mo, 'di ba? Just because he is criticizing you, no? Part ng free speech, abogado ka naman eh. Part naman ng free speech, alam mo naman na iba yung standard sa'yo as
So,
a
maging
public
ano siya,
official.
fashionista. Ano kaya ibang career pwede sa kanya? if not.
Ay, nako, marami naman sigurong pwedeng maging career yan. Tsaka marami na naman, matagal na naman yung ano eh, di ba? Yung lavish lifestyle mo eh. Siguro naman, unfortunately ako, ginoong dating Senate President, there was even a time na I was youth for cheese. No? Nakakahiya man sa aking i-admit.
Yeah.
No? Oo, nakakahiya bang i-admit na there was a time that I was supporting you. Pero sabi ko naman, di ba? Ang importante naman, ang taong bayan nagigising. Nagising naman ako na maaga-aga. No? Nagising naman ako ng maaga-aga. Pero there was a time, nung 2009, I think, na ako'y sinuportahan naman kita, no? Pero nagising ako ng maaga-aga at nakita ko naman na you don't deserve my vote, no? Marami naman tayong mga sinusupport na personalities before. Pero ang ako lang, pagdating sa public official, kailangan they have to have the continuing qualification to earn my vote. And I will not hesitate to withdraw my support towards politicians and personalities who I supported before because they no longer deserve my support, no? So, pasensya ka na, Cheese Escudero, pero talagang I'm ashamed that I once supported you and I am constantly ashamed for you for the things that you have been doing and the kind of behavior that we've been seeing, no? Forthwith lang, hindi mo pa maintindihan. Basic English yan, no? Parang awa mo na, face justice at huwag ka nang magpanggap.
Uy, paras
Naniniwala
kayo
naman
ng
ako.
alma mater, wag kang ganyan Georgetown.
Kaya there's a time for redemption. Baka naman, may time na magkaroon ka ng redemption pero unsolicited advice, the start of redemption is for you to have shame and for you to leave public office at the soonest possible time.
Pwede bang crime yung salan niya if ever talagang mukhang doktor, mukhang hindi realistic? I mean, could that be an angle that could potentially bring him down?
Ang ganda 'di ba Richard ngayon na all of a sudden nag-uunahan yung mga senador maglabas ng salin. All of a sudden transparency is cool again. There was a time that this was the norm and it's starting to become a norm, 'di ba? Makikita mo it only takes a few serious courageous individuals to fight for this democracy and to make sure that the fundamental principles of our democratic country will be respected, 'di ba? Pero it also takes a lot of it takes of only a few leaders na grabe yung walang shame at saka grabe yung bravado at grabe yung kasamaan para sirain tong demokrasya na ito. Kaya nga dapat we have to be very careful, no, with the ones who we elect. Ang pinaka-importante sa aking ingredient is of course shame and embarrassment. Si Rodrigo Duterte kasi dahil may antisocial personality disorder, may narcissistic personality disorder, wala siyang, and this is categorically found by a court of law in Pasig, no? Wala siyang shame, incapable siya of empathy. Yun ang sinabi mismo doon sa judicial decision na iyon, no? Kaya wala yang shame. So gusto ko lang sabihin na SALN right now is a cool thing. And nag-uunahan tayo na ma-release. Having said that, yung sa SALN, just to answer your question, sworn statement yan eh. No? And ang dali namang makita kung nagsisinungaling yan. And the beautiful thing about this culture of transparency is the people can scrutinize your declarations. Ang dami ko ang nakikita nagsasabi sa akin, may mga nag-message sa akin ng mga CPAs. Ang sinasabi nila, ang daming irregularities doon sa disclosures ni Robin Padilla. Pati yung depreciation ng mga sasakyan nila. All of a sudden, itong mga technocrats natin, tsaka mga nerds natin na mga CPAs na obsessive-compulsive, tinitignan yung mga SALEDs. Di ba? So, happy-happy ako na meron tayong mga ganitong individual, kahit na gaano sila ka-OC, kahit gaano ka-nerd, kailangan natin ng mga nerds, di ba? Katulad natin siguro, pareho tayo, na gustong-gustong nakikita itong mga public documents na ito at talagang ini-scrutinize, no? And that is the spirit of a democratic country such as ours, no? So SALN is a cool thing and definitely kailangan disclosure is one thing. Hindi kailangan paniwalaan lahat ng mga dinidisclose at the ball is now on us to scrutinize these SALNs and make sure that those people who are misdeclaring or who have unbelievable declarations will face justice. Kailangan filean na yan ng mga kaso. At pangatlo, kung hindi ka panipaniwala, hindi lang naman puro kaso ang pwede nating iparusa sa kanila, no? Huwag iboto. I-shame. 'di ba, i-expose na ginagawa nilang bobo yung taong bayan. Kung meron ako paniniwalaan hanggang ngayon kahit nanalo si Rodrigo Duterte, no, nagkamali man ng taong bayan, pero hindi tanga ang taong bayan, no. Natututo 'yan. At I can see right now that in due course, the Filipino people will change the kind of leaders that we have, 'di ba? Kahit nga sa Amerika, kung makikita mo naman, 'di ba? Nanalo nga si Trump eh. Pero afterwards, nakita natin na sa lahat ng mga eleksyon ngayon, it's as if the people are seeing that they've committed a mistake, di ba? Part naman ng democracy yan eh. Part ng demokrasya na nagkakamali tayo, we own up for we own our mistakes, and then afterwards we recommit to democracy, and we will vow that we will never allow these things to happen again, no. So makikita natin dapat pagbayarin yung mga nagmi-misdeclare dyan sa SALN na yan sa lalong madaling panahon, at ang pinakamalapit natin book this week, sana kasuhan na yung mga yan. I'm actually preparing a
Interesting.
certain drafts that I will announce in due
Interesting.
course, but subsequently meron tayong mga forthcoming na mga eleksyon, at wag nating papayagan na manalo pa ulit yung mga walang hiyang yan.
Are Jinggoy and Joel, hindi na sila safe? Ano na yan? Hindi na sila.
Well, kahit naman si Marcoleta, sinabi niya, no, na safe na si Jinggoy, hindi pa rin safe. Pero itong si Marcoleta, 'di ba? Meron rin siyang mga tingin ko misdeclaration sa kanyang SALN, no? At kailangan ma-file lang ng disqualification 'yan. Ang laki ng expenses niya nung eleksyon. At ang sinabi niya ba, wala raw, zero contribution. Talaga lang. Pera mo lahat. 100 plus million ba yung ginastos niya? Tapos yung SALN niya, ganun na lang kababa. Ano sabihin niya? Ginastos niya lahat para sa taong bayan. Tingnan natin if that excuse will actually hold when it comes to judicial scrutiny. No? So dapat ko ako rin si Marcoleta, nagpre-prepare na ako sa mga posibleng regalong kaso sa kanya na dapat naman talaga. Kasi isa pa yan, si Marcoleta, ginagawa naman na naman bobo ang taong bayan. No? Pero hindi ka panipaniwala yung declaration niya sa Senate.
And is the ICI too slow or too fast or sakto lang? Or you're feeling we're moving in the right direction pa rin?
Ah, Kasi para sa akin, meron kasing mga obvious eh. Yung tinatawag namin sa pag-aaral ng batas dyan, res ipsa loquitur. 'Di ba? Ibig sabihin, nakalagay doon sa papeles, walang completed yung project, pagtingin mo, wala yung project, automatic na yun eh. Res ipsa loquitur, the thing speaks for itself. No? Dapat na-file na yung mga yun eh. Ang dami-daming ghost project sa Bulacan. Bakit ito lang yung initial list? Dapat na una na yon, yung mga low-hanging fruit na iyon. No? So, para sa akin, I understand that there might be a honeymoon stage, pero pasensya na po kayo kasi yung taong bayan, mas maikli na po ang pasensya. Kasama po kami noon. Kasama po kami ng taong bayan, no? Nasa taong bayan. So, sana mas bilis-bilisan pa nila, at maraming mga obvious na para bang hindi inuuna ng ICI, at para bang merong mga obvious rin sa listahan na katulad ni Bongo na bakit hindi inuna, sa lahat ng mga testimonya ng mga diskaya, nagsimula sila ng 2016, at all the paper trails show that kasama ang CLTG builders Christopher Lawrence Tesoro Go na nakinabang 3 billion yan. Pagkupo pa lang ni Rodrigo Duterte. 3 billion. Ilang classrooms yun? Ilang ospital yun? Ilang pagpapagamot sa mga taong bayan iyon? 'Di ba? Ilang infrastructure sana iyon? 'Di ba? Napunta lahat supposedly dito sa CLTG builders tsaka sa mga diskaya at ghost projects pa, no? So parang kailangan panagutin yung mga yan at pakita natin talaga, obvious naman, 'di ba? Kaya ginamit yung Christopher Lawrence Sorogo, CLTG, para ma-make sure na madali silang makakakuha ng mga proyekto, lalong-lalo na, huwag natin kalimutan, si Bongo was the most powerful person during that time. Hindi nga si Rodrigo Duterte, sa totoo lang eh. Kasi based on my
Symbolic leader lang.
Oo, symbolic leader lang, tsaka tulog. May sakit, di ba? Nag-file ako ng petition for mandamus. Parang laging lasing. Kahit yung mga anak niya raw, hindi siya nakikita. Dahil kinokordon ni Bongo. Kaya nga hindi magkasundo si Bongo tsaka si Sara Duterte, hindi ba? Because Bongo actually cordoned off his own family from Rodrigo Duterte, di ba? Rodrigo Duterte's own family from him. Napakalinaw niyan. Kung maalala natin, bakit tumakbo si Sara Duterte as Vice President? 'Di ba? Kasi si Bongo magpa-file as President Vice President niya dapat si Rodrigo Duterte. Sa inis ni Sara Duterte, imbes na presidente, mag-Vice President para mapigilan lang ang Bongo Rodrigo Duterte tandem. Nung nag-file si Rodrigo Duterte na parang lasing, hindi raw nila nami-meet, tapos pagdating doon, tinanong ng media, tatakbo po talaga kayo laban sa sarili niyong anak? Anong sabi ni Rodrigo Duterte? Ah, nag-file ba? That only goes to show that Rodrigo Duterte does not even know what was happening at that point in time. Even if sarili niyang anak ha, ang nag-file ng vice president's certificate of candidacy for the vice presidency, nag-file pa rin siya, withdraw niya nung tinanong siya ng media afterwards, no? So, ang story talaga diyan, ang sabi si cordon off talaga ang Duterte family, no? And para sa akin, ang pinakamakapangyarihan talaga ng time na yon si Bongo, kaya nga ginamit yung CLTG Builders, di ba? Kaya ginamit yung initials niya, napakalinaw niya.
And pinaka last point, bro. Thank you so much again for sticking around. I know medyo tricky yung time. So, bakit parang vlogger tong camera? Ano bang kailangan natin gawin?
Nagzo-zoom in, zoom out ah.
Kaya nga eh,
Nagzo-zoom in, zoom out ah. Mas pogi na po sa akin si Richard Hidarian. Wag niyo na po i-zoom in, zoom out.
tinatanggal ko nga yung auto frame niya. Hindi ko alam ba't niloko tayo na to. Sinasabotage tayo, pare. Ito the last point. So ano naman dapat gawin ng mga kababayan natin na galit sa both Team Kadiliman, Team Kasamaan, they're not taking sides here, at yung mga ibang tao who are desperate for change? What do you think is the way forward?
Well, definitely, we have to make sure that we mobilize. In our mobilization, we have to be very careful because whether we like it or not, the insidious forces are there trying to hijack all our efforts. Wag po tayo magpapagamit, whether deliberately or not. No, wag na wag po. Kasi the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But if there's something that we've learned from Rodrigo Duterte's regime all the way up to this administration, no, gagamitin po tayo at matatalino po itong mga masasamang taong ito, no? So we have to make sure that we have to be very intelligent when we mobilize. And para sa akin, malinaw dapat ang sigaw sa November 30. Ayaw natin ng korupsyon, kailangan may managot, ipakulong na lahat yung mga magnanakaw na yan, at hindi exempted ang Duterte administration. So sa akin, kami dapat mga placard doon, no? Sara Duterte, hindi namin nakakalimutan ng confidential funds mo. Sara Duterte, hindi namin nakakalimutan na winilang hiya mo yung procurement sa DepEd. Sara Duterte, hindi namin nakakalimutan chinichirya mo yung pera ng bayan. Sara Duterte, hindi namin nakakalimutan, at least based sa testimony sa ICC, na involved ka sa malawakang patayan. Sara Duterte, hindi namin nakakalimutan na gusto mong ipapatay yung presidente, yung asawa niya, tsaka yung Speaker of the House, no? At Rodrigo Duterte at lahat para mga Duterte enablers, hindi namin nakakalimutan na winalang hiya ninyo yung bayan. Kasama dapat yan sa panawagan at malinaw na malinaw dapat yan. Kasi kung hindi, iti-take advantage na naman ng mga maraming walang hiya yung ating efforts at baka ang gusto nila, tandaan natin, Sara Duterte is Vice President, siya ang pumalit. No? The last thing that we want is another victimization of the Filipino people through the replacement of Bongbong Marcos with an even worse person. And that is the person of Sara Duterte.
On that note, maraming salamat talagang for that sonorous speech. Talo mo pa si Joel, no? Pag talagang gusto ko magtapatan kayo ni Joel, sino mas passionate ang kanyang dala.
Ano, kulang na lang lamesa, kaya ko rin yun, ha? Kaya ko rin yun.
On
Ang
that
magaling
note,
kasi sa'yo, Richard. Ang galing
uh,
kasi sa'yo, Richard. Ang galing mong mangsusi. Sinusiyan mo na naman ako. Maghahating gabi na. Gising na naman ako. Nasusiyan na naman ako. Pero para sa akin lang kasi napaka-importante na huwag na tayong bumalik. Huwag na tayong bumalik, di ba? Na sinuka na natin yung mga yan, sinusuka na natin yung mga yan, huwag natin kainin yung sarili nating suka kasi suka na yan eh. And sa akin nga eh, I'm being very generous na describe itong mga Duterte na suka, di ba? Pero huwag natin kainin yung sarili nating suka.
on that, ayoko na pumunta si Jimmy Bundok, may masabi. Anyway, on that note, thank you
Huwag mo
for
na ako susiyan, tama na yon.
magpahinga ka na. Thank you so much to also my counsel at the Supreme Court. Talaga nag-behave
Good, ano
ako.
ba dyan? Good afternoon na ba dyan?
Oh, medyo mag-evening na rin. Magpahinga ka na,
Namimiss ka na ng
brother.
Pilipinas.
I
Bumalik ka na.
know.
Kailan balik mo?
See you soon. Then let's do a year-ender sa December. Don't worry. Ayusin
Okay, I
natin.
will be in New York. I will be in New York. I will be
Entire
spending
December? Entire
entire
December.
December all the
Oh
way
my
up to
God.
January.
Pero January, will be
Oh,
back. Let's do
I'll
something
be back.
January
I'll be
then.
back.
Sige, early January,
Okay.
let's meet. God bless, brother. Talk to you soon. Salamat.
Bye-bye.
And happy birthday sa inyong better half. God bless.
Okay. Thank you.